Hello, how are you? I hope that you are well. Behind me, my poor flowers are starting to die. Today is my 5-year wedding anniversary. So, happy anniversary, Mr. Rockstar. Also on that desk, you see those stacks? Those are just some of my journals. Very soon I'm going to talk about unfinished journals because I have some journals I really want to finish. I have some pages in journals back there that I never got to. When I first started doing this, and even now, there are days when I don't really feel like journaling, when I don't feel like creating art, or when life gets really busy. And you can take, I don't know, a minute to sketch something. And I think what I may do, since I've pulled out some of them, is go through some of them and sketch something on them. I used to put a quote, and I may plop some watercolor down and do a quote in some of them. But I wanted to talk about, since today's Friday and it's Journal Jam, and I wanted to talk about a few things. I'm going to show some flips. I'm going to show you some of my old pages and some of my new pages. I'm going to show you how my style is kind of finally, over the past 3 years, is kind of finally finding its way onto the page. I feel a lot better about the about where I'm at now than where it was. You can see a big difference. But yeah, I can tell, I think you will be able to too, the differences. For one, I've improved. Two, I've figured out that I like putting little bits of everyday life ephemera in my journal, my big journal. It's back there, actually. I like putting little clippings from the newspaper, little pictures from magazines, stuff that comes in from Happy Mail or a sticker or anything that can come in a little envelope, anything that comes in. I like putting that on my regular journal. I like doing tip-ins sometimes. It depends on what I'm doing. I like weird stuff too. I can find bits and pieces. I will probably be putting a leaf or two and a rose petal from that on today's journal page because it is our anniversary, and those flowers are part of that. Just different things. But I have realized that on the Hobonichi pages, I like doing more watercolor and, stuff like that. I've realized that I don't really like doing the tip-ins in that. And I'm finding my way. Doing daily sketching this month for Sketchtimber in my small sketchbook has really been just joyful. It has been so fun, and just I'm only concentrating on one little thing. One little picture from the prompt. I'm using Danny Gregory's Sketchbook School, the prompts for September, and it's a lot of fun. And I'm enjoying myself, but you're going to see some of the differences. I have a pile of stuff I've been going through. I went and had to go find some of the journals. I haven't found all of them. I can't find the oldest one right now. And I don't know that I have time to go through every bin because I really wanted to get this journal video up for you. I've been looking for the past few days trying to find it, so now we're going to go. I'm going to flip you around, and I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you again soon. Hello. When I first started doing the Hobonichi, I had a couple of different journals, and I ended up with this one. And I'm going to go back and put some stuff in this one, but this is the Productive Luddite really big notebook, and when I say really big, I do mean really big. And I started off with the Welcome to 2015, and I see this came out of one of the journals that I had. Sorry for the wooden things. So I did pictures and clip art and stickers. And journaling. I did some background with pastels. My first attempts at drawing. And I was using the color pencils and the pastels my daughter had given me. And I wasn't really adding water. I drew a truck. I'm not adding any watercolor yet. These are pencil. I had surgery, and I was really stressed out about having to have the surgery. A friend of mine sent me a care package. So I'm doing pencils. I'm not doing any watercolor yet. This is my very first Hobonichi. And markers. I drew my dad. Family pictures. My first attempts, like really with watercolor. Starting to get a little braver with the... Didn't do anything with these pages. I started a different journal and I was going to add them to here. So I ended up adding pages from the Miguel Ruiz journal, because I'd started adding watercolor, and you can't really watercolor on these pages. And then that's really it for here for the most part, because I tried adding watercolor and you can see. So this is by the time we're getting into 2015. This is my first Hobonichi. It was the AVEC. And I put my goals down. And I didn't get it in the January, so I kind of filled in some pages. And then this is when I actually start adding bits and pieces of watercolor. And I'm flipping back and forth between two journals. I had surgery, so couldn't really journal. And you can see how I'm adding colored pencils, watercolor. I'm starting to learn. I drew that. Starting to learn how to do it. prompt was flip-flops, so I drew them and took a picture. Avatars. And I'm adding watercolor, doing it little by little. That one was actually, I really enjoyed doing that. It's probably one of my favorite ones I did the best on. That was my desk. I'm improving. My faces have improved quite a bit since then. I actually drew all the little bricks in the house. Skipped a few. I was going through physical therapy and couldn't really do my arms, so there were pictures I meant to put in here. And this is the Nanami paper 7C standard. And this is where you really start seeing me add watercolor. And I'm still adding different bits. Stretching poses, my ink spilled. One of my daughter's college graduations, she graduated twice. Home projects and stuff. We started watching The Last Ship. Before and after pictures, clip art, watercolor, watercolor. Mr. Rockstar at his old job, he's about to go over the road. I went with him and I had, oh my goodness, the pilot copy was so good. And then a Cinnabon, oh, that was delicious. My favorite drink, book I'm reading. Faces are really starting to improve. My son's birthday cupcake. That was sketch a day, and that transportation was the prompt. Mr. Victor journaling. We got my dad's Father's Day, and I was writing out, journaling out what we got our dads for Father's Day. We grilled out for Father's Day. Mr. Rockstar had to go to Ohio. He's like, I don't want to go to Ohio. We grilled with some friends. Aunts. Summertime, the aunts. August. It seems like it's always in July or August. That's my paternal grandmother and me. My little espresso machine. Pictures from the past, what we were doing a few years. This is 2015's journal, and this is what we were doing on that same day in 2012. We were signing papers. We were about to get married. I drew my dad. Happy mail. Sending mail. Prompts. One of my journals I can't find, and then this ends. And this ends because I found out about the crossfield. Now this is just an insert, and I did this in 2015. I was trying to do the whole insert thing. And this was like a one book July, so this was my first attempt at one book July. Did that. I never journaled in it. I drew that's my vintage Dooney and Burke bag, vintage fan, the Inktense pencils. That's on my wish list. It's still on my wish list. I got a water brush. That was delicious. Oh my goodness, my son bought it for me. I drew my Snoopy mug. My pencil pouch. My desk. That's so off perspective. The desk is leaning this way and the bookcase is leaning that way. There were supposed to be pictures added. Mr. Rockstar's IDs from work. We went on vacation. And I added pictures and put the map and stuff in. I drew the cabin. I added our pictures. And that's where this journal ends. This is actually one of my favorite ones. It's one of the few times this is a Fabriano insert. And I actually like them. If I were going to go to inserts, I do these and the Tomoho River paper inserts. This is the first time I really tried to do an insert. And I really enjoyed it. I have some really good pictures in here. So, this is 2016. This is 2016. This is August 2016. This is the beginning of this year. It's March. So we have January, and then we have, and I have journals that aren't finished. So what I showed you a minute ago was 15. So we're going to go to the Hobonichi first. You can get an idea. This is last year's Hobonichi. I added that page in. I'm not going to go through all of it. I'm just going to show you some of it. I was sick. I was doing Hobonichi journal prompts. My favorite supplies. I started doing some writing stuff in here. That was a good one. That was a good one. That's, I believe, from the Dalmatian movie. (2016) February. Okay. Me and Mr. Victor. This is when I started doing the omni journaling. When I combined things into one journal. I was DIY projects, so I drew the tools. This was fun. That was a note. That came in the mail. Writer goals. Mr. Victor. Picture, and then I drew him. Picture of Mr. Victor. And then I started doing a few other things. And I added some mixed media kind of stuff in here. Once I did that, I wasn't very happy. So all this, I need to finish that. And this is August, so I went from there to here. Not a big fan of acrylic paint, and I hated the way it felt on those pages. Mr. Rockstar. Our roses. A storm. Those are guitar strings. That was the packet that Mr. Rockstar's guitar strings came in. I thought it was really cool looking. I've been doing fairies. I really liked that. Hurricane. That one didn't come, but Hurricane Matthew did. And you'll see another hurricane logged in here. I took notes in here. I bullet journaled in here. That was our anniversary. This was last year, as a matter of fact. The roses I got. I really enjoyed this tip-in, and I drew, you know, the Empire State Building and stuff. Here, as for 9/11, I remembered. That was a card somebody sent me, along with Happy Mail. Mr. Victor reading Bukowski. His first barbershop haircut. Me and Mr. Rockstar. Pictures of my day. So there's a big difference between these pages now and what you saw back in that productive Luddite. Here we go. Hurricane. More hurricane. Hurricane Matthew. So that gives you an idea. This is the beginning of this year. I'm still doing the Omni Journal. Rearranging, I moved into this room. And this I tried, this was 2016, I tried to use this Midori notebook and I did not like the paper. Did not like the paper. for watercoloring on. Tried it, got it a little bit in, and I couldn't like the paper. So we get to here where I've started no more Omni Journal, just journal. I'm going to finish my fountain pens on here. I'm going to finish doing this. Now it's finished. So, hurricane. So the last few I started really finding my way. Morning coffee, that was dessert, like a cocoa coffee, like a mocha, homemade. That was really fun to do. I was not a very good nose there, but that one is way better. Took a nap. I did not want to get up at all. My art snacks box came in. I need to do yesterday's page, but we're preparing for the hurricane, and I went to the store. There was no bread. And I got one of the last cases of water. And then in the Hobonichi, I've kind of finally found my way. So we get back here. I kind of flipped around. What did I want to do? You know? Well, we get to right here, and I was like, I really like that page. Went back to doing a few things. And I'm doing this, and I'm like, I didn't write on that page. And I left this black and white, and I did this face. My faces are getting a lot better. And I was busy. And getting a lot of stuff done. I did these, and I'm like, I like these. Well, I don't like the rocket, but the missile, but I like everything else. Didn't write on that one. And I got to these. That was when I took my artist date, and you saw I did the journal video. It was in the red dress with the backpack. Well, I changed into some jeans, threw on a sweater because it was afternoon. I was going. This is me and Victor. I went and picked him up, and I felt like such a grandma. And then self-care day, I had Victor, and then when I dropped Victor off between 4 and 5 o'clock Sunday afternoon, after I got home, I did some self-care. I took a long hot bubble bath. I read for a little while. I did some journaling, and then I did some filming and stuff. I had some stuff I needed to catch up on. So faces are getting much better. I decided I liked doing one drawing a day. I don't know if I'm going to do all this journaling. I may kind of circle my pictures instead of writing on them like I did here. But I like, this is today's page, but I like how this is looking in here. I think I'm going to write smaller. And I can write smaller, I just don't really like to. But, see, that I can write smaller. But I like this, doing like one big thing for my day. Couldn't find parking hardly anywhere the last few days since everybody's out for the hurricane, getting prepared. And Wednesday, I even had trouble finding parking on Wednesday at my grandson's school. So I kind of found my way. Yeah. So that's past to present. I hope you enjoyed this flip through, and I will see you again soon. Bye.